You're a managing producer like this who's worked across a whole wide swath of that genre and territory, not just a niche. How does a guy like that get put together with a band like Fun? I'm interested to know how that little bit of matchmaking happens.
First off, I love Dalton. He'll tell you, I shit you not, when I met him like a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half now ago, we went to lunch and I just picked his brain the whole time on tour. He's touring genius. And I was like, how do you do it? How do you build these bands and create it without having a song at top 40 yet and going through it? And I really love Dalton. I can't say that enough. Jeff Bhasker was blowing up at that time. This is like 2009, 2010, right when LMFAO was breaking and doing Party Rock Anthem. There's a guy named John Janik, who is another one of my mentors, who Aaron Bashuk, who was on the show, called me up one afternoon and goes, dude, I'm about to introduce you to John Janik. You need to know this guy. He is, not only is he fucking awesome, he's taking over the world, and make sure you take his call. He wants to meet Jeff Bhasker, hook it up. So I selfishly took the call with John, and John told me about this band Fun, and he really believed in it. He thought that they would be great with Jeff, and they had this concept of wanting to work with a hip-hop based producer, but somebody that had, you know, understanding of songs, etc. And Jeff would be perfect for them. And he wanted Jeff to meet the band and Nate. And at the time, Jeff was slammed. He was in Hawaii with Kanye. He was working with Luke Steele from Empire of the Sun. He had 4 songs with Beyonce. He had we were just all over the place. And Jeff was like, I don't have time. You know, we can't, we don't, we got to jam it in there. Or I was trying to jam it in there, and we barely had time. And when you're a producer like Jeff, time management becomes a really crucial part of this whole puzzle. Lots of people want Jeff to work with their band, and Jeff only has a limited well of creativity and focus that he can do. I guess it would be another time we could talk about it, but a producer's job is encompassing. You have to get in there and wrestle the album out of the artist and create it, record it, get the right take, finish it, mix it, master it, deal with it's a tremendous undertaking. But I really wanted to get in there with John. I really believed in the band Nate. I thought he had a great sound.
The kid's a star.
And Jeff eventually, actually, my dad passed away, and Jeff came out to see. My dad and Jeff were really close, and Jeff was out there in New York and visiting my dad before he passed, and the band was in New York, and we were like, all right, let's do a meeting. Let's see what happens. They went in, they hung out. As the story goes, they drank a bottle of Jim Beam or something like that, and We Are Young came out, and it was all downhill from there.
Nominated for Best New Artist. I just loved them. I thought they were a great band, and it really kind of speaks again to what we were talking about, that whole networking. You know, the buddy in college that moves along, and then this guy, and it all comes together.
It is, I kid you not, like if you want to know what that is one of my favorite albums of all time. I thought maybe I'm just close to it, and that's why, but record. I mean, start to finish, there's a song called Stars at the end of that record. It's about an 8-minute crazy song. It is, I cannot say enough good things.
When I saw him at the K-Rock show, you know, so you haven't lived in LA as long as I have, but I've been listening to K-Rock for years, and there's so many times they'll have a great song on the radio that's just great, and then you have this expectation in your head if you're a guy like me who really reacts to the live side of things. And so often you'll go out there and you'll be underwhelmed with the performance, and so cynical guy that I am after all these years, it takes a lot to impress me. And I went in there with big expectation, and that kid Nate came out there in the first song and kind of just stopped and looked at the crowd and just winked at him, and I thought, dude, I'm done right here on the spot.